Hello, everyone, and welcome to our weekly live series on scaling your business. So, today I'm very excited to be here because I have so many clients and people in general that are asking me questions around hiring that I decided that this is worth it to have a weekly live series on that so that we can go through what does it mean to hire, who do we hire, what are the mindset shifts that we need to go through and to really shift the way that we look at hiring, and what does it mean as a solopreneur who is starting their business on their own and is actually not even thinking about hiring in the beginning. So first of all, I would like you to put your name in the chat if you're here, telling me where you're from, telling me if you feel that you're ready. The first question I would like to ask you is, when I say hiring, what comes to mind? What is the first thing that comes to your mind when I say hiring? Do you think, oh yeah, of course I will hire down the line? Or do you think, me hire? Never. How could I hire? Or do you think that hiring is only for people that make a lot of money? Or are you dying to hire but you don't know how or when? Or is that something that you don't even know who you would hire to help you? So I would love to know where you are around hiring, because as far as I can see with all the people that I help scaling their business, hiring is one of the most important things that you can do for your business if you want to scale. So let me start by talking around the mindset shift, because I always start with the mindset, and I always like to talk about what does it mean for us hiring and how does it resonate for us. So first of all, when we hear hiring, we think corporate, right? We think big company. We think companies that have, I don't know, maybe 10 or 20 or hundreds of employees. Or we think maybe if you've had a corporate experience, so we think, HR, human resources, we think CV, or we think resume, or we think the whole interview process. And we're like, but I'm just a small business. I'm just a solopreneur. I just love to do what I do, and I want to just get paid for it. And why do I need to hire someone? And this is where I want to come and help you shift your mindset around that. Because really, there are two things that are happening today, especially in the times that we're living, that you will be able to actually take into account in this training. The first thing is, if you don't hire, you will not be able to scale. That is a truth, my friends, okay? This is not something that you can go around or you can make believe that is going to happen without you hiring. You will not be able to scale. That's the first truth. The second truth is that in today's world, with the technology and with the online business and with all the options that we have to be able to hire online, it would be really a shame for you not to try to hire people that are really experts, that have great expertise and capabilities and skills, and that are very often, when they're starting in their career, not very expensive. And so for you, the mindset shift is about, okay, how much is my hourly time? How much do I charge? Or if I had to charge every hour of the day that I work, how much would I charge? Or if you want to do the exercise the other way around, you can take the last client that you worked with and take every hour that you work, whether it's in a session or in, before the session or after the session, or working directly or preparation, and also take the price that you've charged, the full price, and then come to the average and come back and divide by the number of hours, and you'll see what is your hourly price, what is your value on the market. The other way to do it is also to take your experience and expertise and to look at what a person would make if they were hired on a corporate level or in a company. And then take this and divide it by the number of hours that you work, and you'll have the value that you're worth. And then you say to yourself, but if this is my hourly value and this is what I'm worth per hour, then if I hire someone that is going to be paid less than me to do exactly what I do, then I'm basically not wasting money and not spending money, right? So hiring sometimes is a very interesting business decision that we make, because that business decision is going to be around, if my time is, for example, $250, So if I hire someone that is going to do something for $10, then I'm actually making money by hiring someone, right? So the shift that we want to make is a shift where it could be that it looks like I'm taking out money of my pocket and I'm actually paying someone, but really by gaining my time back, I'm actually making money and saving money, and I'm actually not spending the money or the time that I should spend in doing things that someone else can do for cheaper. Now, I know that this is something that you've probably heard before, and this is something that you've been thinking about, because if not, you wouldn't be in this training. And by the way, if at any point you have a question, a specific question around how do we hire, who do we hire, we're going to go through all those questions. But if you have questions or personal, mindset shifts that you feel are hard for you to overcome, then type them in the chat. I see that Sarah is here. Sarah is actually our last hire in to do business company, and she's helping us with the social media. And so it's a very good example, because Sarah is really doing an amazing job in sending private message. I'm sure if you're here that you had a connection with her to remind you that this weekly live is happening. And now she's even tagging people that maybe couldn't make it or forgot that it was live. And so this is a perfect example of someone in my team can, at the same time that I'm giving the live, help me make this a success. So this is, you can ask any question you want, whether to me or even to Sarah. It's also a great opportunity to speak about what does it mean to hire and how is it helpful to hire. So it could be that you've never thought about hiring. Now all of a sudden you're like, I'm overwhelmed. I don't know. I don't have time to do anything. I have clients writing to me and saying, I have so much client work that I don't have time to do anything. And it's such a shame, because I could get more clients, I could get more money, I can make more money, but I don't have the time, so I need to hire. So sometimes we want to get to, before we get to full capacity, but we want to start the hiring process before we get to full capacity, so that when you already have too many clients, you can already delegate a part of your work, and then you can continue working with more clients. Yeah, so I'm so happy to be here. Do you have your worksheet? Yes, amazing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you a few questions. You can answer in the chat, and you can tell me what is for you the biggest question you have around hiring. So the first question you might have around hiring is, I'm not sure that hiring is for me, right? I'm not sure that this is the right time in my business to hire. When do I hire, right? That is the first question. And by the way, if you want to look at the questions we're going to talk about, you can definitely look at the spreadsheet, the worksheet that we sent. And I'm sure that Sarah, who is on the live, can put the link in the chat to download the worksheet, because this worksheet is going to help you. We're going to go through the different questions, right? So the first question that you might ask yourself, and let me add this to the stream, right, so that you can see it. The first question that you might ask yourself is, when is that the right time for me to hire? Is it the right time? Is it the right moment, the right timing for me to be able to hire, right? So someone is saying the two biggest obstacles for hire are finding the right person to hire and making sure we can afford the hire. I love that. I don't know who said that, because I don't see your names, as you know, but I'm going to look at my other screen and I'm going to find out who said that, or you can type your name in the chat, because those are very, very good questions. And actually, I see that Sarah already posted the link to download the worksheet. So Miriam, yeah, hi Miriam. Nice to see you here. Yes, exactly. So what is, the first question that Miriam has is, what two biggest obstacles? Finding the right person and making sure that we can afford. I love those questions, and thank you so much for asking them. So going back to the other types of questions that you can have, and we're going to answer those questions. I just want to make sure that we go through all the questions, and then you can decide which question is more important for you. So When are you ready to hire is a question. Who should you hire, right? So finding the right person, that's one of Miriam's questions. What should they do for you, right? That's also a very good question. Like, what is the task? How do you decide what are the tasks that they should do to for you when you hire them? And what are the mindset shifts that we need to go through in order to decide to hire, right? And the question that Miriam has, which is making sure that we can afford the hire, is going to be actually in one of the answers of when to hire, because that's a big question. Like, when can I afford, when can I decide that I can afford to hire? Okay, so those are the questions. And if you want to have the worksheet so you can take notes, then just download the worksheet in with the link that Sarah posted in the comments, and you'll be able to either take it as your Google Sheet and Google Drive, Google Doc, and you can type it in, or you can print it, or you can even take a piece of paper and write it. I just like to show you what is the potential question and the potential answers, so that you know where we are. So let's talk about when to hire. And by the way, what I like to do is I like to play a little game. So I will give you the 5 answers to when to hire, and then I want to take a vote so that you can say which one is more resonating with you, which one is the one that's going to help you decide when to hire. So think about it when I give you the 5 options, and then give me the one in the chat that is the one that you resonate the most with. So when are you ready to hire? So the first is what we already said, is when you're reaching full capacity. So that's number 1. When you're reaching full capacity, meaning when you feel like you have so much client work, you have so many clients on your plate, you have so much work that you don't have time for anything. Not even talking about time for yourself or time for your family or time for hobbies. I'm talking about time to even deliver the work to your clients. Okay, so the first option is when you're reaching full capacity. And like I said before, we want to try to hire a little bit before full capacity. So when you're seeing that your calendar is being booked, or that you're being overwhelmed, that's when you need to start a little bit before. You need to start thinking about hiring. The other element or thing that is going to show you that you are ready to hire is when your margin are allowing the extra expense. And that is the answer to Miriam, who says, when can we afford? How do we know when we can afford? So that means that you need to be able to track your revenue, saying maybe like I said, I make $250 an hour. That's my revenue. And I need to be able to track my costs, right? But for 1 hour of my time, this is what it costs me in everything, whether it's my fixed costs, whether it's the electricity or the computer, or whether it's my cost directly related to the work that I'm doing, whether it's an assistant, or whether it's a program, or whether it's tools that I use. So I need to know what is my revenue. I need to know what is my cost. And when I know what my revenue is and what my cost is, when I do one minus the other, then I have my margin. And I know what I actually make and what I actually make in my pocket, which is my profit. So we need to know at least. It doesn't mean that we need to have the full amount to hire. Some people say, yes, I will wait until I have the full amount to hire, and then I will hire. Yes, but if you don't hire now, you won't be able to make more money because you won't have the time to have more clients. So then it's a catch-22, and you don't want to get into that catch-22, because in business, you always need to invest first before you see the results, right? It's not like, let me wait until I put money on the side to be able to hire, and then I'll take money out of the drawer and go hire. No, it doesn't work like that, right? It's not a savings account. Hiring is an investment. Hiring is going to allow you to actually make more money. So you have the difference between spending money on something where you lose the money, like if you buy a new car, if you buy a piece of jewelry, or if you buy, anything that once you spend, it's over. And the difference between investing money, where you're going to be able to make the money back and even more. So hiring is an investment, right? If you hire, you'll be able to have more time, so you'll be able to have more clients, so you'll be able to have more money, right? So that's the mindset you want to have. However, we don't want to hire if we don't have any money at all, and if we're in debt, or if we are, we don't have a good margin, we don't have good profit. So it's a very fine balance between, I can see that I have potential because I can see that I would have more clients to pay for that hire, right? But at the same time, I don't need to have the full amount. I hope that this is clear, and please make sure that you type in your questions in the chat if this is not clear. So the first was when you reach full capacity or close to. The second is when you feel that your margin are potentially allowing this expense, this investment. Number three is, and this is a mindset one, when you're ready to stop trading your time for money. So as like I said, as a solopreneur, we're used to doing everything ourselves. We're used to, if something needs to be done, I do it. If I need to clean the floor, if I need to do the dishes, if I need to, look at a, 1,000 emails on a database, or if I need to do some research that's going to take me for 5 or 6 hours, I will do everything, right? Or if I need to, I even have a client now who is at the border of full capacity and has been like packing like crazy for hundreds of clients. And because they're solopreneurs, yet still some of it they're doing themselves, even though it's not their unique brilliance or it's not really their expertise. But when we're a solopreneur, we do it all. That's okay for the beginning. But when we grow, and we have more and more and more clients, there's a time where we say, I'm ready to stop trading my time for money. And that time is a time when you're sure that you have a product that works, you have a service that people need, you have clients that are buying your product, and you're ready to actually start trading, to stop trading your time for money. And this is a shift. And maybe you have gone through that shift. And it could be that it's not a shift you have everywhere in your business, but it's enough that you have this shift in one area of your business so you know how it feels, and then you can duplicate that. So that's number three. So let me remind you what we're up to. The number one, when do you know that you're ready to hire? When you're almost reaching full capacity. Number two is when your margin are potentially allowing that additional investment. Number three is when you're ready to stop trading your time for money. I love this one because this really means that you are really becoming the CEO of your business. Number four is when you're ready to invest in the long term in your business, right? So it's not just let me go by the next week or the next 2 weeks or the next month or even the next quarter, but you know that you're in it for the long term. You know that this business is your business until the end. Like you're always going to fine tune it, you're going to tweak it, but you're really aligned with this business. You're at the right place, and this is where you belong, and this is what you want to do for the rest of your life. So when you have this commitment to your business, that's when you're ready to invest and to say, let me look at the long term. If I want to go to my goals in the long terms, whether it's revenue goals or impact goals or lifestyle goal, I'm going to also need to hire. So let me do it right away, right? So that's number four. It's when I can look at the long term and I'm sure in my vision that the business I am in is the business that I want to be in, not forever or for as much as I can imagine, from where I am now. So that's number four. I'm wondering if you already can identify which one you are, which is telling you that you're ready to hire, right? So number one is you're almost reaching full capacity. I would love for you to type in the chat which one is resonating more to give you the information that you are ready to actually hire, that this is the right time for you. So number one, you're almost reaching full capacity. Number two is your margin are allowing potentially that additional investment. Number three is you're ready to stop trading time for money. And number four is you're ready to invest in the long term, that you can have a vision for the long term. Number five, if you haven't felt that this was resonating until now, it's when you are overwhelmed and close to burnout. That is a very big sign that you need to hire, that you are really at the time to hire. So if you feel that one of those, right, which one resonates the more with you? Thank you, Sarah, for putting the question up. That's great. So when you feel that one of those five options, or those five signs, or those five, elements or things that are happening in your business, if one of them is happening, then it means that you're ready to hire. And I could also say that it means that you're ready to scale. That's what it says. It says, okay, you're ready to scale, right? So full capacity, margin enough to reinvest, ready to stop trading your time for money is number three. Number four is when are you ready to invest in the long term? And number five is if you're close to burnout or you're so overwhelmed that you're close to burnout. So if you feel that one is resonating more with you, then I would love for you to type it in the chat. This is going to help you also identify if this is the right time for you to hire. Because sometimes people say, oh, I wish someone would do, I have a lot of people that say, I wish someone would do all my sales. Or I wish I could delegate all my, marketing, which doesn't really happen because you never delegate all your marketing or all your sales. You're still going to do a lot of it by yourself, but some of it you can delegate, right? Like posting on social media, or like sending out an email, or like sorting out your database, or entering data entry in your CRM, or sending out invoices, right? So we'll talk about in the what, right? And what to delegate when you hire. But basically, it's really important to know when is the right time for you to hire. And if one of those 5 options or signs that I just listed resonates with you, not only does it mean that you're ready to hire, but it means that you're ready to scale. And that is a very exciting news, my friend, because it means that you are basically already selling and knowing that what you're selling has an interest. People like it. People want to buy it. You have a demand. What you're offering is matching a need. And that is really exciting, right? Because it means that you're at a different stage of your business and you can be more confident in the value that you're bringing and the money that you can make from it. So now let's talk about who, right? What type of people should you hire, right? Because some people think when I speak about hiring, they think that they need to hire a full-time, 100% person that is going to be an employee, that is going to have social benefits, that is going to come in the office at 8 and leave at 5, and we're going to need to pay her vacation and social security and pension, and it's going to be so expensive, and we're going to feel bad if we have to let them go, and it's going to be a whole process, because that's what hiring is, or used to be, and that's how it resonates with us. Tell me if this is resonating with you. Is that what you think when you think about hiring? Hiring is something complicated. It's a whole process. But really, like I said in the beginning, we live in a time and age where hiring has never been more simpler. It's so easy to hire. You have websites like Upwork or Fiverr or other websites, depending on where you live, where you can actually go there and you have a marketplace of people that have expertise, that have experience, and that are looking for work, but not necessarily full-time jobs. They're looking for a few hours here, a few hours there, and they're also ready to start at a very reasonable price, either because they're beginners or because it's a side gig. And so you don't need to really commit to a full-time, 100% person, that you're going to have to pay forever or fire them, right? It's more like a strategic partner that you're working with and someone that is more independent. So let me share with you the 4 types of people that you could hire to help you in your business. So the first type that you can hire, which you probably know, are experts, right? But experts are not necessarily going to be part of your team. Experts are people that have a very specific expertise, like a social media expert or a finance expert or a system expert or a website expert, or maybe in your personal field, whatever you're selling or whatever you're offering, an expert that can help you even be more specific in what you're offering and bring more value. So those experts, usually they are expensive because they have an expertise, and they're paid per hour. And so you can use their expertise. For example, a social media expert, you can use their expertise to work on your strategy, to work on the overall strategy of your social media for a few hours. But then it doesn't mean that you need an expert to actually do the posting, because that's not the same competence. You don't need to be an expert to do the posting. You need to actually know how to post, have the time, have this design capability, have this be friendly. It doesn't mean that you need to be an expert in social media, right? You need to have more different capabilities. So you can hire experts, definitely. I've hired a lot of experts. I've hired, like I said, financial experts to help me put in place my finances and my business. I've hired systems experts to work on my systems. I've hired mindset experts to work on my mindset. But I don't consider those people being part of my team. I consider them external experts that I can that I can have a consultation with when I need specific help. However, when you want things to get done and when you want things to actually be implemented, that's where you can talk to freelancers. And freelancers are the people that have extra time, that are probably going to be less expensive, that want to gain more experience, that can be junior, that can have a full-time job on the side. And those freelancers are the ones that are going to be part of your team, are the ones that you're going to be able to work with every week for implementation, for execution, for things that you don't have time or you don't want to use your time for, and they can help you with. The number 3 is what we started with, which is the full-time employees. You can also decide to have a full-time employee. Now, they don't necessarily need to be sitting at a desk, and if you don't have an office, you can do all this virtual, right? The freelancer or the full-time employee, they can be freelancers, they can be virtual. Now, the last option that people don't always think about is what we call mini-me's. So a mini-me would be someone that is like you, but smaller. Someone that is beginning, someone that you can train. So in my case, for example, I can hire a junior coach. And this person can be a mini-me with some of my clients or my beginners clients. And I could teach that person the way I do my business and my services and my programs. And this person can do it instead of me, right? Or I had a client once who was a therapist. And she actually created a whole system where she would train other therapists to apply her method. And they were like mini-me's, right? They were using her method to be able to duplicate and actually clone her work so she could have more clients without working more hours, right? So that is also a very efficient way of hiring. And those are the 4 types of people that you could hire. So let me repeat the 4 types so you can write them down. And I would love for you to type in the chat which type is the one that you feel that you want to hire next. Do you feel like it could be either an expert, that's number 1, an expert in a specific field, a freelancer, that's a VA, or that's an OBM, an online business manager, or a virtual assistant, or a social media assistant, or an admin assistant, or someone that does your bookkeeping, or someone that helps you with keeping track of your finances, or someone who sends emails, or someone who does your customer service, or someone who does your testimonials or your videos or your website, right? We'll talk about the what in a second, but those freelancers can have different ways of expressing their expertise, and you can pay them per hour. You don't have to commit to a full-time or a part-time. And the price is usually cheaper than if you work with an expert, right? So that's number 2. Number 3 is full-time employees, right? If you have a big business and you need someone that's going to take charge and be maybe the manager of other people, that's a full-time employee. And number 4 is mini-me. So if you want, type in the chat which one feels more like the one that you need to hire: an expert, a freelancer, a full-time employee, or a mini-me. That's going to help you have clarity on what type of person to look for, what are the competences that you want to look for, and what kind of job you want to give them. So let's talk about what should they do for you, right? That's the number 3 of our list. What should they do for you? Because people think, like I before, I'm going to give them, I'm going to hire someone and give them all my sales. I don't want to do any sales, or I don't want to do any marketing, or I don't want to do any finances, right? So as a business coach with my clients, I always say, you can never give away a whole part of your business and not be involved in it. There's no such a thing as not being involved in your marketing, or not being involved in your sales, or not being involved in your numbers. As an entrepreneur and as a solopreneur, even if you become the CEO of your business, you're going to have to be involved in those different areas of your business, right? So how do we delegate? What do we give to those people to do if you want to hire? So how do you remove things from your plate and have other people do things for you? Well, I have a very, very, very interesting and easy exercise that I do with my clients, which is like a business mapping. And a business mapping helps us actually map everything you do in your business, in every area of your business, whether it's marketing or sales or customer delivery or operations or systems or finances. We have all the categories. And within those categories, we actually identify the tasks. So we break down the category in tasks, and we identify the transversal tasks that someone else can do for you without delegating the whole category, right? So for example, in social media, right, you don't want to delegate the whole thing, or at least not right away, maybe after a few years of working with someone. But in the beginning, you want to give maybe someone just a posting, or just, answering the private message, or just posting in other groups, right? And slowly, then you can give them to create events, and then you can give them to create landing pages, and then you can give them. So it's really something that you do progressively, right? And it's also, you always keep the control on the content. You want to make sure that the content, is your energy, is what you believe in, and is going to be shared, but from what you think is important to share, right? So that's also important, not to delegate everything, right? Now, there are 4 types of things that you can delegate, and depending on where you are in your business, there are 4 types of things that you can delegate. So you can delegate, that's what I said. So in social media, you have a few tasks in the whole project that you delegate. You can delegate a whole project, for example, managing a Facebook group. That's a whole project in social media. You can manage a full area of your business. So you can say to someone, manage my whole social media, right? Or you can manage people that are going to manage your whole social media. So a marketing manager can have someone who is going to manage the social media. So depending on where you are in your business, usually you start with tasks. That's the easiest, right? So when I started to hire my business manager of today, her name is Anastasia, and she's been with me close to 4 years now. So she started managing only tasks. I would give her only tasks, one after the other, things to do. And then once she got really used to the tasks, then I gave her projects. And I said, okay, now you're in charge of this project. This is you deciding which tasks and when to give what and when to do what. So she's in charge of the project, right? And then I even gave her a responsibility on the whole area of my business. And I said, okay, this area is your area. So for example, today, she's in charge of all the client customer service, right? So she's in charge of this whole area. Whenever there are questions from clients, she is the one that answers, whether it's scheduling or payment or implementation or systems or content or anything that client have, right? So, but in the beginning, it was just a task, and then it was a project, and then it was a full area. And maybe one day I'll have someone who is in charge of customer service, and Anastasia, as my business manager, will be in charge of this person, right? So you can see how the 4 things are really gradually and progressive and don't happen overnight. So first is managing tasks, then it's managing projects, then 3 is managing a full area of your business, and 4 is managing people. So I want to know, which one do you feel that is more where you are right now out of the what? Like, what should they do for you? What should you delegate? Are you more at the task level, at a project level, at a full area, or at people level, right? And I wouldn't go directly to people, or then it means that you have to hire someone that has a lot of experience, and that's already a full-time employee, and that's already a different situation. And let's finish with, what are the mindset, right? The mindset shifts that we need to go through in order to hire. So you probably have beliefs. We started with that when we spoke about the mindset, and the beliefs that we have are going to stop us, or are going to be a resistance for us to hire. So if we identify them and we say, oh, okay, I recognize that. That's interesting. That's why I'm not hiring. Then we know how to fight, or how to answer, or how to shift the belief, or how to basically realize that it's only a belief. It's not a reality, right? So I've identified 5 beliefs that I've seen with my clients and with the people I work with, and the people that are ready to scale but are still fighting some resistance. And I'm going to share them with you. I would love for you to type in the number of the resistance or the mindset shift that you feel is the most difficult for you, or the most present, or more difficult to shift. And then if you have more that I haven't thought about, I would love to hear, because I'm sure there are some mindset shifts that I haven't thought about. So the first belief that people have, especially solopreneurs, around hiring is, it's my baby. Do you know this? It's my baby mindset, right? My business is my baby. It's me. If I give it to someone, then what am I going to be? What's my identity if someone is doing so? This is my baby, this is my thing. I want to do everything with my baby, right? I don't want any babysitter or any school or anyone taking care of my baby. I'm the only one who can take care of my baby, right? So type number one, if this is a mindset that you've had or a belief that you have or something that you have to deal with in order to be ready to hire. And that could be it's a very legitimate belief, because people really start their business and behave with their business just like if it was their baby. The second mindset shift that has to be the mindset that has to be shifted, or the belief that has to be shifted, is when you start looking at when you stop looking at your business in the short term and you look at your business in the long term, right? And you say, wow, this is, my business is really something in the long term, and I won't be able to grow and scale if I don't hire. So now, I need to shift from short term to long term. So type number two, if this is a mindset that you have to work on, to go from my short term, what I do today or tomorrow, towards versus a long term mindset. So Sharon, who is saying it's my baby, type one. Okay, well, it's very good if you recognize it, because if you recognize the mindset, then you'll know what you need to do in order to shift the mindset. So mindset number three, and that I'm sure a lot of people are going to recognize themselves, is I'm the only one who can do it mindset. Have you ever heard yourself or someone else say, oh, I'm the only one who can reply to emails. I'm the only one who can post on Facebook. I'm the only one who can do my numbers. I'm the only one who can work on my website. I'm the only one who can work with my clients, right? I'm the only one who can do it. That's a very difficult mindset. That too, Sharon says, yeah, it goes with the baby, right? Yeah, if you think it's your baby, you're also going to think I'm the only one who can do it, right? And so if you think I'm the only one who can do it, you want to shift that mindset, but by realizing that you have a unique brilliance that you need to keep, and that is you and only you, and that's what you should do in your business. But everything else can be done by someone else, and most of the time is going to be done better by other people because it is their unique brilliance. So a very good example is a website, right? I'm the only one who can write the content for my website. Maybe you're the only one who can put the titles and make a list of themes that you want to talk about, but you're not the best person to actually do the copywriting for your website. Some people are unique brilliance for this, right? So this is how you shift it. You say, yes, I'm the only one for my unique brilliance, but the rest can be done and should be done by other people, A, because they have the expertise, and B, because when I'm paying them money, then my time is worth more than what I'm paying them, and so I'm actually saving money. So that's how you shift the I'm the only one who can do it. Then we have the cost versus investment mindset, right? I don't have the money to hire. We spoke about that in the beginning, right? So that's also a mindset, right? It's also a mindset that we have to shift. I don't have money to hire doesn't make sense if you know for a fact that once you're going to hire, you're going to make more money. It just doesn't make sense. It's not a cost, it's an investment, right? So if you have that number three mindset, sorry, we're number four already, right? So number one was, it's my baby. Number two was, I'm in the short term, like I'm not looking at the long term. That's the mindset we need to shift. Number three is, I'm the only one who can do it. And number four is cost versus investment. So I'm looking at hiring as a cost. I don't have the money, I don't hire, right? Whereas if I invest, I will make more money. That's how I have to shift my mindset. And number five, which I love, I actually love all of them, is I will never find the person that I need, right? Raise your hand if you thought that when you thought about hiring, or type it in the chat, right? I will never find the person that I need. So I love that because it's such a belief that doesn't make any sense, right? It's like when you meet people that are singles, and if some people are single on the call, then I'm sure you would relate to that. And they say, I will never find anyone to get married or to be in a relationship or to fall in love. I will never find anyone, right? And when you hear them from the side, you say, well, how could you know? You haven't looked enough, right? Or you need to look more. That's the first thing. And the second thing I always say is you only need one, right? I will never find the right person. You only need one person, right, in your team to do the right. You don't need all the people on Upwork or on Fiverr to be amazing. You only need one that is going to be matching with what you're looking for. So I will never find the right person is a mindset that can be shifted very easily because, first of all, when you say never, you already know it's a belief because there's no such a thing as never. And also, what is the right person? Have you done your homework? Have you done the job description? Have you done the profile? Have you done the list of tasks that you're going to give that person? Have you just really make a list of things that you know is going to help you decide if that person is the right one or not? Now, it could be that it's going to take more time. It could be that it's going to be more difficult. It could be that you're going to hire someone, it's not going to be the right person right away. But the trade-off is that you're not making more money, or that you're not allowing yourself to have more clients, or that you're becoming burnout, or that you're not growing and scaling your business, right? So maybe it's worth it to spend some time to look for that person so that you'll be able to grow, become the CEO, continue to do what is in your unique brilliance, and continue to serve and share your gifts with the existing clients and more, right? So this is what I have for you today on our weekly series around hiring. I hope that this is helpful because this has helped me. Today we have 3 people in our team with an expert that is an internal expert that we work with on a regular basis. And I can tell you that my whole business has shifted once I started hiring. And I can tell you also from the clients that I work with, what makes a difference for them. They can go from very regular standard revenue for them, and they can jump to maybe double or triple their revenue as soon as they decide to hire, because all of a sudden they have time for exponential growth activities and for more client work and for more, all the work that needs to happen that you need to do in order to have more clients and more money and more revenue, so that someone else can do all the small tasks that can allow you to have more time for this. So I know it's not an easy mindset shift, but it's a one that you need to go through if you want to continue growing and scaling your business. And on that note, I want to share with you an event that we are actually organizing. As you know, we have every 3 months a strategic planning day. And the next strategic planning day is happening on July 11th and July 12th. It's a strategic planning day for Q3. I'm going to ask Sarah, if she's still here, if she can put the link I'm going to ask her if she can put the link of the strategic planning day in the chat, if she's still here. And if not, maybe I can post it over here. Can I post it here? Not sure if you can see it if I post it here. Or maybe here even, because I have a second. Of course. Oh, Sarah's still here. Yes, thank you. Amazing. That's amazing. I love it. I'm not used to having you all the time on my lives, but that's amazing. So this is the link to the strategic planning day. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for posting. That we're organizing every 3 months. It's a quarterly 2 days that we spend to speak about growing and scaling our business, but also to speak about our numbers and to speak about our projects for the quarter. And I know a lot of people have enjoyed it over the years. It's every 3 months. It's happening on July 11th and July 12th. You can go through the page and see what will happen during those 2 days. One day is going to be dedicated to growing, and the other is going to be dedicated to scaling. And that's why I'm talking to you about it, because in these 2 days, you have the business team mapping. And that's the exercise that I was talking to you about, which is the exercise where you map your whole business and you find out what are the activities and tasks that you can delegate. And so in one day, in only 1 day of the SPD, of the strategic planning day, You can already know who to hire, what to give, what tasks to give them, and what are the systems and toolboxes that you can give that person in order for you to focus on your exponential growth activities and for your EGAs, right? So that's why we have this event, so that you can not only know what to do to grow your business. Of course, we need to continue marketing and doing our campaign calendar and our lead generation, our lead nurturing. I'm also going to teach about a new product launch system that is brand new. It's the first time that I'm teaching it. And so that's how to launch a new product in your business and how to create this whole event and campaign effect for a new launch, so that you really create the waiting period and that you really know how to organize your launch. And so who is it for? So day number 1 is for you if you want to attract more clients and have more revenue. And day number 2 is for you if you want to create more systems and hire your team. So that's why I'm actually talking about it now, because I think that it could really be interesting if you're already scaling your business. And if you're not yet scaling your business, you can participate only to day number 1. So you have a lot of information here. You have testimonials, and you also have, well, a little bit about me if you don't know who I am yet. And you'll have also how to register. And so you can see it's also very affordable prices. I make them on purpose affordable because I really believe that every entrepreneur should actually stop working in their business once every 3 months and take time to work on their business, at least for 1 or 2 days. So if you register for the 1 day, which is more growing your business, it's $129 plus VAT for Israeli residents. And if you register for both days, which is the growing and the scaling, it's $197 plus VAT. So you can just click here and register and be redirected to PayPal. We even have an FAQ section here with a lot of questions and answers if you are wondering if you have more questions on the SPD. So that is what I wanted to share with you, because it's happening in 11 days, so it's pretty soon. And it's going to be on Sunday and Monday from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Israel time. And if you're anywhere else in the world, you can make the conversion. I think we have the times here. I think we did make the conversion. If you are, just type in the chat if you're from a different country. We did post it here: 11 a.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Central time, and 6 p.m. Yeah, so you have all the different times. And I would love to spend those 2 days with you, because that's really an amazing opportunity to work on your business, to stop not having any client work. If you can also, not having to take care of your family during those 2 days, at least in the afternoon, really take time to focus, to strategize, and to really, really make sure that you are on the right track for your financial projections. Make sure that you have your priority in terms of your projects, and that you learn new strategies and new tools. And if you're interested in hiring, then you have the business mapping, so you know exactly who to hire and what to give them, what tasks to give them. So that's a very, very, very popular exercise in my program and with my clients. And you get to have a peek and work with us for 2 days. So that would be really a great experience. Thank you so much for joining us. If you are, after the live, you come and you watch the replay, type in your answers, all the questions that I asked, because this is going to help you also get clarity to know if you're ready to hire, or what to give them, or who to hire. And if you're interested in joining us for the Strategic Planning Day, just fill in the registration, make the payment, save the date, and I'll be happy to see you on July 11th and 12th in our Strategic Planning Day. Bye for now, everyone, and I will see you very soon. Bye-bye.